Burgundy Ballers, welcome back to the Week 5 home preview right here on the Ballin Burgundy podcast. Yeah, myself and Andrew is what has become as of late. Chris and Justin are always working, so it's just the boys. But my guy, what's going on?
What's up? Excited to be back at it. Big week ahead.
Hey,
We can come out of this with a win. That'd be
woo.
real big for us. So let's make it happen.
Man, let's make it happen. The Week 5, our second game at home versus the Browns. Before we get into that, guys, don't forget like and subscribe here on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and hit that post notification bell every time that we upload. We're on the road to 500 subscribers. We're a little more than 3/4 of the way there. We got another 100 or so subscribers to go. So if you're watching this and you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Helps us out tremendously. Instagram and TikTok at Ballin Burgundy Podcast. Twitter at BIB Podcast 22 because Twitter is not like long usernames. But let's get into this. 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 p.m., 10 a.m. Pacific in Northwest Stadium. We're finally home after like 2.5 weeks on the road. The 3-1 Washington Commanders take on the Deshaun Watson Predator-led Cleveland Browns without a lot of key pieces, man. But 1 o'clock, how are we feeling going into this?
I'm actually feeling pretty good for the first time.
Hey,
If you've watched previous prediction videos, you know that I have us losing in a lot of them.
yeah, you do.
But after this last week, I feel like that sort of really proved us for me. I'm pretty confident in our team now. So I'm a lot
Yeah.
more optimistic going into this week, and I'm excited to hopefully keep the momentum. 4 and
Mm-hmm.
1 would be absolutely amazing. So it's a winnable game. We just need to make it happen.
It's quite winnable. I forgot to touch on this last episode while we were going through just the way the team just keep making history. But we're 3-1. We are the best start going into week 5 since 2011.
Mm-hmm.
In 2011, 2024, was that 13 years? We haven't started a year 3-1 like this.
Wow, that's crazy.
You and Chris, or at least Chris, he was what 13. He was 9. He was like threes when that happened. He was like 3 or 4. Like put that in perspective.
I was not watching the team at that time.
I
So
13 years. I was like 8, so I was maybe watching the team at that time. But
yeah,
best start to a season. But going to this game, there are a lot of injuries. Going to this, I'm gonna start with the Cleveland Browns, the visitors, led by that Predator. I'm not gonna say that other. I don't want to get thrown off YouTube. That Predator, Deshaun Watson, and this like good, talented, but not performing Cleveland Browns. So
mhm.
for them, shout out to Mary Kay Cabot on X. She pointed out the game status for the Browns players since the official Hogs Haven injury report has come out. But Nicholas Chubb, one of the best running backs in the league, Jaheim Hicks, Nyheim Hines, Hudson, and Wright, they're all out. And then questionable is tackle Jedrick Wills, running back Pierre Strong, tight end David Njoku, tackle Jack Conklin, and M. Dunn. I think it's Michael Dunn. They're all questionable for this game, so they're going to be without their almost 3 starting running backs, questionable 2 tackles, and their questionable tight end.
Pretty beat up.
That's massive. And like Nick Chubb's been injured since last season,
Yeah.
and he's still working through it. Nyheim Hines, I think, got injured during the offseason, and Pierre Strong was a Patriot before he got moved on to the Browns. But to not have David Njoku, who's one of the better wide receivers in this league, I think he was one of the best last year, is huge for
Mhm.
our defense. Now they get to cover the number 2s on tight end and like the number 3 or 4 running back on their running back depth. So we'll see. And then on our side of the ball, as of right now, wide receiver Noah Brown and defensive end Cleveland Farrell are out. Austin Eckler cleared concussion protocol today, so shout out to 3-0 for doing that. And B-Rob is looking towards the right direction, but he'll be a game time decision, so we won't know on B-Rob's condition until Sunday. But in our
Mhm.
terms, guard Allegretti, safety Percy Butler, quarterback Marcus Mariota, and our boy safety Tyler Owens are all questionable. Jordan McGee and Obada Egbe Abada, I forget his name somehow already. They are currently on IR. They opened up the 21-day window earlier in the week, so they won't be activated for this game, but they'll be doubtful. But Forbes, Dom Hampton, Quan Martin, Derzon Noon, they'll all be available and ready to go for Sunday. So that remains to be said. Our defense isn't going to take a big step back because Orange Armstrong has improved. I think they'll call up. I hope Davantae again for this week because he had a sack when he got called up and looked great. But to
Yep.
lose Noah Brown already, and like Rio tweeted it out, and I'll put the tweet up that everywhere he's gone, he's been on the injury reports in some form or fashion. So there's nothing new. But for the fact that he's been producing week in, week out, 50 or so yards every week, just kind of giving him the ball. Now we're down to the biggest guy being Luke McCaffrey at 6'2".
Yeah, Noah Brown's been consistently good for us. He shows up in the clutch moments. He makes good plays. So that definitely be a toll on the receiver room if he's not here. But I mean, the key one for me is I'm really hoping B Rob's playing
Yep.
because the last 2 weeks he has been dominant
Whew.
rushing the ball and just wearing down the defense. And I mean, that's what's really opened up a lot of the passing game and made it easier for Jayden. So
Mm-hmm.
if we're able to have him do the same thing he's done the last 2 weeks, that's going to be really beneficial for the team. So hopefully
Yeah.
he's healthy.
Yeah, I hope so. The fact that Eckler cleared protocol as of
Mhm.
earlier today is amazing, and I'm so
That's
glad
great.
that he's making it. So we'll probably have him. We'll probably have McNichols back on the field
Yep.
again this week, which would make sense after having a two touchdown game and went for like 78 yards last week. Was amazing,
Yeah.
but I mean, injuries haven't been. We haven't had too many injuries this season. Newton was obviously coming to the season with one. Tyler Owen is now having the shit injury, but I think he was plagued with that going into the current season. Mariota and during the off season, he kind of injured his pectoral
Hmm.
muscle.
Yep.
Um, but Noah Brown and Cleveland Farrell, two of the not like biggest name guys, but the fact that they've both produced since they've been on. But Farrell's been out for the past 3 weeks. So I'm curious if he doesn't trend in the right direction soon. They might put him on IR, which now takes him out for another 4 games, which now brings us
Yeah.
to midseason. So we'll see how that kind of goes.
Yep.
Our team capitans, my dude. We and shout out to the Commanders team. I just keep putting it in the intro because it's just that just good. First off, shout out to our new media team. Who are these folks? Because they need a raise. They need like a couple of brewskis. Like they just keep doing better week in, week out, and I love it.
They've been good. I like the content they're putting out there.
Dude,
TikTok, Instagram, whatever. Yeah.
it's the best. They're on top of things pretty consistently. And
Yep.
with these rotating captains, they're doing damn well. So let's get back into these captains. Defensive end Dorrance Armstrong, the boy number 11 Jeremy Chin, as I'm rocking his jersey right now, and then rookie QB Jayden Daniels is a captain officially for at least for this week, but the first one of the season, and I don't think it'll be his last.
Nope. It shouldn't be. It's well deserved. So.
Well deserved, well earned. But let's stay on Jayden real quick. We keep talking about him week in, week out, but
Mhm.
for good reasons. He was pronounced not only Pepsi Week 4 Rookie of the Week, so his third one of the season, but he is Offensive Rookie of the Month in the
Yeah.
NFL.
Yep.
Shout out to I believe it's Jared Verse for the Los Angeles
Mhm.
Rams. FSU Seminole went over to the Rams number 8. He's Defensive Rookie of the Month. But Jayden, 87 of 106 passes of the year, 82.1 passing percentage, 897 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, 218 rushes for 4 touchdowns. That kid is your September Offensive Rookie of the Month, and damn right.
Damn well deserved. Yeah, for sure.
Damn well deserved. But that's not the only thing he was damn good at. The something new was presented to the Pro Football Hall of Fame earlier today, courtesy to them. Washington Commanders QB Jayden Daniels threw this football for his last completion, a 27-yard touchdown to Terry McLaurin, sealing our 38-33 win over the Bengals, and set a new NFL rookie record for a 91.3 completion rate, which was 21 for 23. That ball he threw to Terry is now in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
I saw that this morning. That was exciting to see that. Yeah.
Dude, it's again, when was the last time we had something like, I think the last time maybe was Alex Smith coming back on the field after his 2-year injury, but when was the last time we had a current middle, like, or start of the season piece of memorabilia say, oh, off to the Hall of Fame you go?
Yeah, it's been a while. I mean, it's a huge accomplishment. So,
Yeah.
and hopefully he'll be in there one day. We'll see.
Ho- Dude, hopefully. um, another thing with Jayden, and shout out to Ree and Z, they had pointed this out. Rio had pointed it out. We kind of touched on this during our Instagram stories. You guys can go check that out. Link down in the description. But currently, right now, based on NFL, First Take, Get Up, and all of those, they had posed a question to one Dan Orlovsky saying, is it an overreaction to have Jayden Daniels as a top 5 MVP candidate? Now, we're going into week 5. This is based on weeks 1 through 4. So it is quite a bit early to talk about MVPs.
Mm-hmm.
But what is your official thought and take on should he or should he not be considered a top 5 MVP candidate right now?
Short answer, yes. I feel like he belongs in the top 5
Okay.
category for that. But I saw a post by the official NFL account this morning, and it said the top 5 MVP prospects right now. And what really confused me that I did not agree with is that they had him at 1. We'll find it really quick.
Yeah, that's high. I don't
So
think he should be 1.
I don't at all agree with that. But he is playing like a top 5 quarterback right now.
For
He's
sure.
playing, arguably, some people could say he's playing like a top 3 quarterback.
Yeah.
And this is all as a rookie. So it's really impressive what he's doing. And
Mm-hmm.
if he's able to bring us to the playoffs and maybe win some games for the first time in a while, I like him in that category.
I do too. I don't like Dan Orlovsky said it's absolutely an overreaction, and I would probably agree
Mhm.
that talking about MVPs as of right now is an overreaction. But him winning Offensive Rookie of the Month and everything like that, like he should be getting votes. But
Mhm.
having him number 1, and if I can find the photo when we're talking about this, I'll have it up for you guys on the screen, or if you want to send it my way, when you find it. But having him number 1 is really just I wouldn't say 1. I would probably have guys like Sam Darnold above him. I'd probably have Josh
Yeah.
Allen above him. I'd probably have Derrick Henry above him. So maybe 4 or 5 is more like it, but I don't know about 1.
Here's the post from that I saw
Oh,
earlier
that's
today.
right. That's right. You did send that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, number 1, Jayden Daniels. I don't know about it.
I don't know.
I
I
feel
think
like
that's I think that's
glazing's a
super.
little too high right now.
Yeah, that is really, really high.
Yeah.
So I'll go through the article and kind of have them listed as we go. But they currently have number 5, King O Henry, as they should. Number 4 is CJ Stroud. All right, I can see that. Number 3 is Josh Allen. Yep. Number 2 is Lego Policeman Sam Darnold. Yep. And number 1, they have our boy, that kid at number 1 is number 5 in Jayden Daniels. I think that's high.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I would swap him and Allen probably around. Maybe have him at 3.
Mm-hmm.
But
And Darnold. Yeah.
and then Darnold, but I don't know about 5. I don't know about 5.
I think we're on the same page there. I mean, people get excited about rookie quarterbacks. It makes sense.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we're only 4 weeks in. He's still got
Hmm.
to prove that he can do it consistently. But we've seen awesome signs so far. So
Yep.
I believe he can.
I believe he can, and I think he will. I think he wins offensive rookie of the year, like almost right now,
Hmm.
like and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think someone else who should be on that race is Justin Jefferson, who is producing with Sam Darnold
Oh,
and
MVP. Yeah.
an MVP, and I think Justin
Yeah.
Jefferson would be better than Derrick Henry right now. But I don't, I don't know about this. Him at one, no,
Yeah. It's a little crazy.
it's that's high as hell.
Yeah.
Um, but the other big kind of NFL news to talk about before we kind of get into the rest of this Browns game, Davante Adams. We touched on this on our stories. I've talked to other people throughout Twitter and Instagram. We're not getting him. We're not. It would cost. We could probably do it for a second, a fifth, and De'Ami Brown. We won't. It'll be the Jets. It'll be the Saints. It might be the Ravens based on his latest Instagram post or
I'd
story
love that.
with Egner Allan Poe. If you guys are
Hmm.
your English buffs, but we're not getting him. Where do you think out of those three, Baltimore, Gotham City, and the Jets, and New Orleans, where do you think Davantae would possibly get traded to?
Well, earlier he said that he would love to go play with a quarterback he knows.
Yep.
So the two in those teams that you mentioned would be the Jets and Saints with Aaron Rodgers and Derek Carr. I think either of those teams would be a great fit for him.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, reconnect him with Aaron Rodgers, although I don't know how much longer Aaron's going to be playing for them.
Yeah.
Um, and then the Saints offense right now is awesome, super talented, and he would make
Mm-hmm.
it that much better. So I feel like both would be a lot of fun to watch. I think both teams could definitely try to pursue him. Uh, but if I could choose one for him to go to, not necessarily where I think he's going, I would want him to go to the Ravens because that
Okay.
would be awesome seeing him with Lamar and that elite offense.
Mm-hmm.
That's just, I feel like if they get him, that immediately makes them serious Super Bowl contenders.
I think that's fair. I think, yeah, but what would they trade? Would they trade like Rashad Bateman out of there? Would they trade like they wouldn't give up Zay Flowers?
I could see them getting Bateman out there. Yeah.
I could see that. Um, Gosh, I think it'll be the Jets out of those three, just because you pair him up with
Mhm.
Aaron Rodgers. He's good against Garrett Wilson, but the Saints would make sense because it's easier to get out of the NFC than it is the AFC.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Any of
I
those are contenders.
a lot of those are contenders, and right now the Saints. I mean, as much as how bad they looked against the Eagles, um, they're still in that division right now that anything can happen.
Yeah. They're still a great team.
Yeah. And again, before people in the comments, we should get him. We should trade for. It's not happening. I'm sorry. It's not happening. Okay. If we were going to trade for a receiver, we would have traded for Brandon Ayuk by now. And you look how well he's doing it in after getting that contract. Not at all.
Very glad we did not go after him.
Yeah. So as much as we could use those guys, it's just not happening.
Yep.
Sorry about it, but it ain't. Um, it's just weird. Like I don't think Dallas is gonna get him. I don't think the Bills are gonna get him. So I think
Bills would be fun.
it would be fun. I would enjoy it.
Hmm.
But I don't see it happening.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't see it happening. But it kind of round out our game thoughts and whatnot. We are back in the burgundy and gold, my guy. Burgundy jersey, gold pants, burgundy socks.
I like it.
I
A
love
lot
it.
better than the all reds.
Yeah, a lot better. I wonder if they're just gonna push through and make these the home uniforms, period, like permanent, which they should.
Mhm.
They really should. But I think if they do that, and like we're winning, and this is me nitpicking, and why are you talking about Jay-Z? Why would you do that? Bring back like a gold face mask or something. Like have a little fun with it. Like
Yeah,
I have the if the background will suffice me. Like I have our helmet right now. The burgundy on burgundy, like it's nice. I've learned to like it. I've learned to like it, but I think the burgundy and gold face mask would go better. But that's just me.
I agree. Definitely would tie it all together a little bit better.
It would be a little bit better, but I can't complain with it. Like it kind of goes with the jerseys and the whole thing, so I'm not mad at it. I've grown to like it.
Hmm. Yep.
Because Atlanta won last night over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in overtime, and Kirk Cousins throwing for 509 yards. What the actual fuck?
That was crazy. First time since, was it 2021 that a quarterback's thrown for 500? And I believe that was Joe Burrow, right?
I think it was Brady.
Really? I
I
thought
would
Burrow had one.
he might have something close. I don't know if it's. I would have to go back and look at the stats, and they showed up a graphic.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
because the Falcons beat the Bucks, and thank you for that, we currently sit as the number 2 seed in the NFC. We would host a playoff game as the number 2 seed.
That is weird hearing that. It's been a
It's
while since we could say that.
I'm not mad at it at all. Currently constructed, Minnesota's the 1 seed. Obviously, they're 4-0. I don't know who had Sam Darnold being undefeated this way, but who cares at this rate? So Minnesota, us, Seattle, Atlanta, Detroit at the 5, Tampa Bay at the 6, New Orleans at the 7, and then both Dallas and Philly tied at 2-2 at 8 and 9. And it's glorious that they are out.
Love it. Let's keep it that way.
Let's keep it that way. But finally, without further ado, our score predictions going to this game. Who are you rolling with, my guy?
This week, as I said at the beginning, I'm a lot more optimistic. So
Yep.
I'm going to finally take our Commanders, and I have us winning 33-24. I think the offense is still going to be very good. I don't think it's going to be as good as the last 2 weeks, just
Okay.
because the Browns defense is very good.
Yeah.
And I think our defense will hold up okay against theirs. But they're still probably going to score a good amount on us. The
Probably.
key to holding their score low is just going to be keeping possession with us, running the ball, getting it to B-Rob if he's healthy, keep
Yeah.
that clock going. So I feel like 24-33, Commanders win. That's my score prediction.
Fair, fair, fair. I like that. I like that a lot. Finally taking our side after all these years. I'm messing with you. I too am going to take our Washington Commanders. I like the 33. I'm going to go 35-21. I'm going to kind of stay on the train of beat them by double digits. I think because what happened last week with Cleveland, I forget who they played, but they did not look well. Deshaun got sacked a lot. Like Amari Cooper and Jerry Jeudy are fantastic receivers. Greg Newsome, Myles Garrett, and the crew are amazing. But if we can get after Deshaun, if we could have a 3 to 4 sack game, bring up Davantae Jean-Baptiste, let him get a sack. Let John Newton get a sack. Let John Allen get a sack. Let Frankie Louvu get a sack. If we could have a turnover, if San Francisco could get a pick, and if we could just keep Garrett to a minimum, I think we win this game. I think our run game will take a step, not back because it did well last week, but I don't think it's going to be as effective with B-Rob and Eckler coming back, both from injuries. So I think if this is a 230, 250 passing yard type of game, a Taylor could get to 100, that'd be great. And I think Jayden, again, scrambles for another touchdown or 2. It's just his cup of tea. You throw for a touchdown, you scramble for 2. So I go 35-21, keep the Deshaun Watson passing to a minimum, and I think we'll be just fine.
I like it. We're on the same page.
I believe so. But I cannot wait for Sunday. I will not be able to be on Twitter the entire time live quoting. I'll be busy, but we will probably have Lot to say that night, especially if we win. If we lose,
Mhm.
oh boy, oh boy, it ain't gonna look pretty.
Would be a problem.
It's gonna be a problem, but I don't anticipate us losing. And if we do, I think would be because of penalties and everything, like we normally like to.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, but again, keep Deshaun on. Honestly, keep Deshaun on the field as much as possible because you could sack him like 4 times a drive. Like his offensive
Mhm.
line with Conklin and with Jedrick Wills out, and I think their center Ethan Pochik is out. I think he was taken out last game. They're down to their second string offensive line. Without David Njoku out there, without Nick Chubb out there, without Nyheim Hines out there, they're not gonna have a good time, and we are going to feast upon their bad timings. But I cannot wait. Anything else you want to add before we get out of here?
Let's make it 4-1. Let's do it.
Let's make it 4-1. Let's take another step in taking this division by storm, and let's take another step in Jayden just becoming rookie of the year. And I think right now we've said earlier he's a top 10 QB. Let's see if he can solidify those claims. Well, let's head into Sunday. Let's raise hail, and don't forget to stay ballin'. We'll see y'all out there.